Hi and welcome to the Rensemayers Consultancy web tutorial about how to read a job advertisement. My name is Zoe and I'll be taking you through this guide step by step. Now you might think there's not much to reading a job advertisement. If you can understand the language and you can read, then you're pretty much set. But there's really more to reading job ads than looking at just the job location, the position title and the salary package. In order to apply for a job appropriately, you need to identify key words that will characterize the company philosophy. This will enable you to understand the greater mission, values and ethos of the company you're applying to, and you can use that in your cover letter. You also need to look at the job details that you can respond to and how you can fulfill that job function. You need to ascertain what the informal selection criteria is. In other words, you need to determine what points out of the job advertisement are the points the hirer is looking for in a candidate that will be successful in the role. And finally, you need to look at the application instructions, so whether they've set out file format or file size restrictions, whether there's an application package you need to download, or perhaps there's a specific way they want you to apply. Now the first step in reading a job advertisement is obviously to read through the whole thing once. I have found a sample which we'll have a look at together now for a project controls manager job. Here's the advertisement for it. Now we'll just run through it quickly together so we get the basic idea of what it's about. The multi-million-dollar mining projects, Brisbane-based with some international site travel. Excellent remuneration including bonuses and company shares. Join this innovative leader within the mining and minerals processing industry and reap the rewards. Not only will you be part of a multi-million-dollar mining feasibility and construction project, you will also be able to develop your career within a culture that truly believes in promotion from within. On top of this, you will be generously rewarded with an attractive base salary, short and long-term incentives, and a whole host of other employee benefits. As a project controls manager, you will play a hands-on role in the development and ongoing support of project controls to all international construction and feasibility projects carried out from the Brisbane office. The major objectives include building relationships with key site operations personnel and external stakeholders, develop, implement and manage project controls processes and systems, coaching, mentoring site personnel, and providing project controls support to project staff. To be considered for this role, you must have an engineering degree and solid experience in project controls, with a particular strength in planning. Be savvy with Primavera software, have highly tuned people and influencing skills, combined with a strong focus on the setup and management of project control systems. For a confidential discussion, please contact the person, which I have blurred out, on the number which I have also blurred out. Alternatively, please select Apply Now to send your application in MS Word format. We look forward to hearing from you. Now there's a lot of information in this advertisement that you can use in your selection criteria. What we're going to do now is go through it with a highlighter and look at the key concepts and words that we need to take into account. Alright, so the first thing we need to look at is it's multi-million dollar. That's the big stuff. If you've only got experience on the smaller projects, probably give this one a miss. They're looking for someone with the big experience on the big projects. There's international site travel. You need to be able to demonstrate that you've also got a passport and that you're okay with travelling. That's going to come up in the interviews, if not in the application process, so be prepared for that one. They're innovative. Alright, so they're forward-thinking, enthusiastic, creative, and they're looking for someone to be involved in a company that will allow you to develop your career, and they promote from within. They will generously award you, and there's incentives and bonuses and benefits and that kind of thing. Now from those first two paragraphs, what you can look at is that in your cover letter you need to demonstrate that you're the kind of person who is looking for a company rather than just a job. What they appear to be looking for with all this fabulous stuff that they're offering you is they want someone who in return for that will show them some loyalty and be looking for a career position. So in your cover letter you can either hint at this or make it as a comment in your introduction or your conclusion that you're looking for a company that you can join and build your career from within, that you're looking forward to continuing your development, your professional development, perhaps your education or qualification skills, upskilling. Look at key phrases such as continuous improvement, career development, again, like I said just before, upskilling. These are the concepts that they're going to be looking for. If they're a company that promotes from within, then they're looking for people who want to improve themselves and step up that corporate ladder. So it sounds great, makes them sound like a fabulous company, but more than that, instead of skimming over and saying, oh yeah, they're just selling me the company, look at the ethos and the philosophy that they're representing themselves as having and see how you can fit within that in your cover letter. Now it says that you'll be generously rewarded. It goes on about the things that they offer you. When they're doing that, you need to demonstrate what you can give them in return. I'm not talking about faffy attributes such as I'm dedicated, I'm hardworking, I'm punctual, I'll give it my all, I'm enthusiastic. Those things are unquantifiable. You need to be able to demonstrate your commitment through a position previously that has been a long held position, or career development that you've and commitment to continuous improvement that would demonstrate your commitment to your career path. Alright, so there's a little bit here about the position now. You can look here and it says, as the project controls manager, you'll play a hands-on role. That means you won't be managing from afar, you'll be getting in and getting your hands dirty. In the development and ongoing support of project controls to all international construction and feasibility projects carried out from the Brisbane office. You need to be Queensland based and you need to be willing to get your hands dirty. Major objectives include building relationships with both internal and external stakeholders. That brings in interpersonal skills, communication skills. When I say communication, I'm not just talking about your ability to convey your own ideas. It's as much about active listening. That's the difference between communication skills and interpersonal skills, is active listening. Your interpersonal skills is not just about conveying your own concepts, your own thoughts, your own opinions. It's about being receptive to the opinions and thoughts of others, taking them on board and incorporating them in what it is that you're doing. Working with people. So building relationships is a give and take. You need to be able to demonstrate that you can do that. Develop, implement and manage project control processes and systems. Develop, implement and manage. That's the whole process. Alright, so they're not looking at someone who can simply manage it or just implement it or just develop it. They want someone who can do the lot. And then there's the coaching and mentoring. Alright, so these are the three major objectives of the role. Not to be confused with the selection criteria. That's really important. What they're talking about here is the general practicality and job function of the position that they're advertising. These are things you can incorporate in the examples that you provide for the informal selection criteria. Alright, the selection criteria, that's in this paragraph here. You must have an engineering degree. You must have solid experience in project controls, and they want someone with a particular strength in planning. You need to be familiar with Primavera software, and you must have people and influencing skills. That comes into management as well, your management skills, your ability to influence others. And they're looking at someone who has a strong focus on the setup and management of project control systems, which again comes into this, the development, implementation and management of it. Alright, so up here you've got your company philosophy. Here you've got your job function, and here you've got your selection criteria. At the bottom of the advertisement they talk about the application instructions. If you want to talk about the role, which is always a good idea because it takes away the anonymity of your application, you talk to this person on that number. Give them a call, make up a question if you have to, but call them and put a voice to the application. It must be in MS Word format. You can click apply now on the CCAD, or you can talk to this person here about it. Perhaps I'll give you an email address to email your application to. But make sure when you submit the application, it's in Word format. Okay, so just to recap that, informal criteria: you must have an engineering degree. You must have solid experience in project controls. You must be savvy with Primavera software. Must be highly tuned to people and exhibit influencing skills. You must have a strong focus on the setup and management of project controls. It's a good idea to write those out after you've had a look at your job advertisement, because these are the 5 points that you need to be focusing on in your cover letter. You need to address each of those points, even if it's only just in a paragraph, in a few sentences in a paragraph. This is where your STAR approach comes in, which I've written a blog entry on, so have a look at our blog on our site and you'll see how to do that. Alright, this leads us to the next step, which is the keywords and concepts which we pulled out. The company is innovative. You need to demonstrate how you'll fit with that. It's employee focused. What can you offer? They're looking for someone interested in career development, with a commitment to their own continuous improvement, willing to mentor others, and are experienced with travel and high stakes. So in other words, you can demonstrate experience with high-level projects worth millions of dollars. Preferably you can throw in a little bit about your international travel experience, as well as all of that. So how do you write your cover letter? The letter plan. Paragraph 1, your introduction. Introduce yourself. Talk about what the position title is and why you're a good candidate for the job. Paragraph 2, talk about your qualifications and your experience. That's points number 1 and 2 in the selection criteria. Using the situation, task, action, response format, that's how you write your cover letter. Paragraphs for each of these criteria. Paragraph 3, talk about your interpersonal skills, your ability to influence others and tune into people. You need to demonstrate your interpersonal, not just your interpersonal skills, but your communication skills there as well. Your ability to get along with others, teamwork, team leadership, that kind of thing. Your final paragraph should be your conclusion. Not just about why you're a good candidate for the job, but why you want the job. So that's how you read a job advertisement. Not quite as simple as perhaps we all thought to start with. You need to look at, just to go back through it quickly, you need to look at your company ethos, you need to look at your job function as well as the selection criteria and your application instructions. Once you've done all of that, write a plan for your cover letter. Make sure that you cover all of the informal criteria in your cover letter and throw in small aspects of the company philosophy and the job function in your examples so that you can provide a really well-rounded cover letter to demonstrate your aptitude, not just for the job, but how you'll fit in with the company ethos. And hey, if it's all too much work and it's all too confusing and you don't have time, I'm always happy to do it for you. Have a look at our website to see what our prices are for cover letters, and you can contact me on 0422 186 645 or email me at zoe@rensamazeconsultancy.com. Thank you for listening.